Namaste. This is a female palm, and I am going to use Brigu Nadi principles along with astropalmistry principles to analyze and do some predictions and describe the line formations in this palm. If you look at this chart first, this chart clearly shows that the Saturn is Vakri here, it's retro. Jupiter is also retro. Let us first understand the chart and then we will go into the palm. You can see that because it is retro, the Brigu Nadi principles always suggest that the Saturn will have a 12th drishti. That means it will try to move towards its 12th Rashi. This is what is generally taught, or this is what we assume in Brigu Nadi. Okay. Similarly, what we also assume is the trines, RUTs. For example, this is Saturn and this is Mars and Rahu. Therefore, you will always take Saturn, Mars, and Rahu in UT. Here you can see that the retro Saturn has also got a seventh aspect on Venus and Sun. So this is the general structure of this chart. We will have to check how the palm actually looks with reference to the chart now. Let us go into the palm and palm line formations. You have to observe that whenever Shani is Vakri, we have to look at two different zones. This is the first zone where we have to we have to concentrate. In this zone, you will see that this part of the Shani Rekha is not really strong or not really good because it is having patches. These patches suggest that, and this roughness in fact suggests that there is some impact of Rahu. So as I told you, here we look at Saturn, Mars and Rahu who are in trines to each other. Here we say that the Rahu has an impact on Saturn in a very negative way. So when I am doing Saturn Vakri, I will first look at this part and then I'll proceed downwards to see what is happening. So we have to look at this part of Shani Rekha, which has started from here and it goes this way. This is the point where the Shani Rekha starts actually, age 27. If you look at the Shani Rekha's progress, you will see that there is a line that comes from the Chandra, that is the moon mount or moon's sphere of influence. This particular Chandra Rekha comes and meets the Shani Rekha at 30. Okay, please note these are two things which are very very important. Now, if you look at the chart, I told you that the Shani moves towards moon, correct, and in the retro direction, vakri direction. So Shani takes 30 years to complete one cycle. So at the age of 30, the Shani would come here and then touch the moon. If you look at the Vakri Shani in the palm with reference to the palm line, you will see that the moon line is touching the Shani Rekha at age 30. Okay, but we have to see few more things here. I just want to show you at age 27. Let me zoom. Look at the Shani Rekha. Concentrate on this part. The Shani Rekha is feeble, it's weak, it's not very strong at its point of origin. It is not touching the Shukra Rekha, but it is not really strong. There is a line from Shukra Rekha which is just about touching it, but not really completely. Okay, so there is a Shukra Rekha. There is a line from the Shukra Rekha that is attempting to touch this Shani Rekha, but the Shani Rekha at the age 27 is not really strong. Now, what are the predictions? What are we talking about here? So, when we look at the chart, this person's profession is really not picking up. She is 27 years old. So Shani is Vakri, but the Shani Rekha starts at 27. So there needs to be some prediction that I need to give, and that prediction is that yes, her karma, that means work, or the tendency, or the prarabdh is going to start. The work level progress is going to start at the age 27, but it won't be really good initially because the Shani Rekha is not really strong. So it will proceed, I mean, it will start strengthening after 28. Gradually, it will strengthen, and at this point, at age 30, when it meets Moon here, you can see there will be a sea change. That means there will be a huge change. Two things can happen. Either she will meet someone who is very influential, Moon like Brahmin caste. We Brahmin means upper caste or some influential guy in the ancient time. The people who were knowledgeable or people who were very influential were categorized as Brahmins. Doesn't mean that I'm casteist. What I'm trying to say here is that she will meet somebody who's very influential at the age 30, and the career will pick up. Or because moon also represents foreign, there is a very strong possibility that she will have some kind of foreign settlement or displacement from her homeland. That means she will move out of the place where she is currently residing. These are the two predictions that we can get from the Shani Rekha. So let me sum it up. At the age 27, the Shani Rekha appears to be, slowly strengthening, and then from 28 it strengthens, and at 30 there is a very strong line of influence from Moon that meets the Shani Rekha. But look at the Moon Rekha. This moon rekha is actually, look at this, please. This moon rekha is coming, seems to be strong, but 1 2 3 4 5 6, there are more than 6 to 7 cuts on this moon rekha. Why? These are called interfering lines, or these lines are cutting the moon rekha. Why do you think that is happening? Let me go back to this part. So the moon, I'll write the moon here. The moon is getting some drishti which is papa drishti. Some papa drishti is some from somewhere it is getting. Now here I am not assuming Saturn as papa graha, but I am taking him as karma. So although it's a papa graha, but in Nadi what we do is, when we start predicting about karma, we fix him like that. We don't consider him, the Saturn, as a papa graha at this point when we are looking at karma. So I cannot say that this will cause problem. Okay, so what I'm going to infer here is that there is some other papa drishti that is really bothering this person, and that papa drishti is from Mars. You can see that this is the eighth drishti, eighth aspect of Mars. Generally, the eighth aspect of Mars is destabilizing. It is it causes problems. It's eighth, so it causes uncertainty, unseen problems, or this particular Mars drishti on moon can result in many things. For example, now that the Saturn has touched moon at, let's say for example, around 30, Mars will try to give problems. What kind of problems? Health, because it is related to women's blood, the menstrual cycle, so blood related issues can happen. Or her brother, if she has a brother, the brother can get into some kind of trouble. Or because she is not married, so I cannot use the Mars, I cannot use Mars for husband. Or there would be obstructions in karma. That means there will be some enemies who will obstruct her. obstruct her progress, or some kind of hurdles she will encounter because of Mars. Is that all? I don't think so. Look at this. These lines are actually joining the Budh Rekha. That means there is a role of Buddha also in this, in troubling the moon. Why is that? Let us look. See, the moon is in this house 1, 2, 3, 4. The Mercury is in trines to moon. Therefore, there is a moon Mercury Yuti as well. So the Mercury means that there will be some kind of documentation problem, some kind of cheating. She should not trust friends who seem to be very close to her. She should not trust them so easily, or there would be some disruption, some major disruption changes in her education. That means her education lines could change. This also is a possibility, because she might have to shift and change her line, her trade, or her whatever she has learned. She may not be able to use it at all. So there would be a significant change in the education pattern or something, or she may have to do some changes in her learning process. This is also possible. So that might affect her career initially. So there are a lot of changes that are going to happen from now, that is from age 27 onwards. But it is for good, because she is going to progress. There is no doubt about it. There is no doubt about that. Now you look at the Mars. Now here, let me clean this up again. So when we look at the Mars as of now is playing a dirty role. You can see that the Mars here is not really playing a positive role as far as the moon is concerned in this chart and in this palm. But if you look at the Shani Rekha here, this part of the Shani Rekha is not really good because of Rahu, right? But you know that this is Kuja Rekha. This is Kuja Rekha. Observe that this Kuja Rekha has a branch. Observe that this Kuja Rekha has a branch. This branch, look at this branch. Let me zoom out once more. Have a look at this Kuja Rekha. This one, it comes here, and there is a line that is running parallel to this line. That means the Kuja in this case, as you know that the Saturn, Mars and Rahu are in trines, the Kuja here is in fact helping Shani. Why is that? It's very funny, because that shouldn't be happening. We know that Shani and Mars are not in good terms, but because Kuja has to face Rahu, there is a kind of tacit understanding in the palm. You can see, I'm not talking about astrology here. There's a very tactical understanding here, and that tactical understanding is leading to this particular rekha that is running parallel to the rekha that was damaged by Rahu. Therefore, the native is going to get some benefit in work due to Karakatvas of Mars. So she should look for some work which has got strong Mars Karakatva. This is what it means astrologically, or in terms of when we try to interpret this. So when we look at this line which is parallel, it is actually trying to reach the Shani Mandal, and it is very positive because of this Kuja Rekha. But have a look at, let me clean this up again. Have a look at this part again. This part is the Kuja Rekha, and then it goes like this, and it becomes, it supports the Shani Rekha. A part of it is going down. Please observe, there is a break here. That doesn't mean that it is bad. A part of it is going down and meeting a line here, which eventually lands up in the Sun Mount. Why is that? Why is that happening? Now, this means that the Shani Rekha, which was here, is indirectly getting connected to the Sun. Is that true? Do we see some indications like that in the palm? Definitely yes, because look at this. This Saturn is having a 7th aspect on Sun, or Sun is having a 7th aspect on Saturn, your wish, whichever you want to take. it shows that there will be progress in life. Whenever in Bhrigu Nadi, whenever sun is involved, it shows growth, it shows prospects, it shows some kind of divine intervention, it shows some kind of good prospects in life. So sun always means good prospects in life, and that is very well seen here. In fact, you should also interpret it like this, that if this rekha was not strong here and it was strong in this place and it was weaker here, then it is exactly opposite, it is going to pull that person down. But here it is an urdhva rekha, that means it is getting it is stronger here and getting kind of thinner as it reaches the sun mount. So it is positive. The other thing which you should note is that, look at this Surya Rekha, it is coming down. This is generally a sign of help, and it is trying to reach the Shani Rekha. That is another indication as well, that the Sun and the Saturn are in Yuti, and eventually you will see that this Rekha by way of this is also trying to touch the Shukra. That means there is a Shani Shukra Sun combination, or some kind of understanding, some kind of influence, some kind of prediction that we can give. Okay, so this is what I wanted to explain in this part. If you now look at the moon, so of course, as I told you, what are the predictions as of now? What we have come to know is that at the age 27, her career will start. At age 30, there will be some line of influence, there is a pickup in the career. As I told you, this age is also exactly 27. It means that whatever is seen here is getting validated here. Who is helping? Kuja is helping. What is this age? If you count the number of years, this is exactly 30. So therefore, we can easily say ये दोनों match हो रहा है. Perfect. The length is matching exactly. इसका length देखिए आप. Secrets कुछ है जो इसका length देखिए आप. दोनों का length same है. दोनों match हो रहा है. It's matching. Therefore, it means that she will definitely get success from 30. Definitely get success from age 30. This is these are deep concepts. You have to see it in a Nadi way. Okay. Now, as I told you, Moon and Mercury also means that there will be cheating. I told you, so I have warned her that there could be some kind of documentation problems, legal issues also. And you can see this area, okay, there is a possibility of legal issues, documentation problems when she is traveling abroad, but she will overcome that after a lot of hurdles, because look, this rekha is again supporting this rekha. It means there is a support already available in spite of all the problems. तो support तो है, मिलेगा support, and she will sail through all the problems which she is facing. So as we know now, we can say that the age 27 to 30 will be a time when she will get progress. How can we see that in terms of Nadi astrology? You see, when the Saturn reaches here, which is the age 27.5, 28, like that, it directly has got a seventh kind of connection, sambandh with Sun and Venus, and I explained all that here, okay, and that matches. Therefore, she will get success from 27 plus. So everything is actually pointing towards that. So this is very, very clear. Now, coming to some more interesting combinations in this palm, you will see here that the Shukra Rekha is this one, and there is a branch. You can see इसको हम हसिया कहते हैं, हसिया, sickle shape. Okay, this is sickle shaped line. Generally this line which I have circled should not be in this shape. You must have seen it is like that, straight, or it is curved like that. it doesn't go, it doesn't become straight and then curve like this. You see, I'm just exaggerating this part. You, if you observe this, this is straight, यहाँ से फिर इस तरह. This doesn't happen. This is a sickle shape formation. You have to observe this very carefully. And what is this? This is Shukra Rekha. This is Venus, correct? Shukra Rekha. Shukra Rekha is moving into the Chandra, that is moon. Alright? And this is a sickle shaped. It means, as per RG Rao's, Sir RG Rao's, analysis or whatever he has given, such kind of lines are not considered good. There is some malefic influence. What is that malefic influence? Let's look at the chart. Maybe there is. This is the moon. And where is the Venus? Here. Venus is here. You will see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You will see the moon and the Venus are in Shadashtak. That means 6, 8. So, what are the possible prediction? Moon is what? Mother. Correct? Moon is mother. For this native, moon is mother. The Venus is with Sun. Sun is father. Okay. This could be a female again. Could be sister, could be female, could be money, could be luxuries, could be whatever. So the mom, her mom and her dad are having some issues because of either some female or because of some kind of Venus related karakatva. Why? Because this is in Shadashtak, and because of this shape, see, there are thousands of charts where moon and sun and Venus are in Shadashtak. Doesn't mean that everyone will have the same issue. Okay, you have to look at the palm and check these things. Don't blindly predict everything based on some combinations in the chart. That doesn't work well. You need to have always these kind of validation from the palm. You will see that here the Mercury line gets a twist, a turn. Then there is another Mercury line that cuts. This is a Gunak Chinna. What does this mean? And that is all happening in the area of Mars. Okay, what does this mean? We will see that now. See, each of these lines are very important. Each of these lines mean something. In the chart we can actually look at how beautifully the Nadi dictums work. So that is what I am trying to explain. You will see that the Mars is in this place, which is Sun's house. That means Simha Rashi, because I'm not very good at North Indian chart. For me this is easy, but anyways, this is Simha Rashi, and you see 1, 2, 3, 4, correct? So Mercury is in Mars's house. Mercury, please concentrate here. Mercury is in Mars's house. Mercury is having a aspect. Mars is having a fourth aspect on Mercury. See, Mercury in Mars house means the person is sharp, good at maths, good at calculations, good scientifically or engineering or skillful. She's very skilled and intelligent. Why? There is another validation that is needed. Look at the ending of the Kujarekha. When the Kujarekha ends sharply, we can say that the Mercury Mars जो भी संबंध है, this is enabling the person's intellect. Person का intellect है वो strong बना रहा है. So when the Mars is aspecting Mercury and the Mercury is in the Mars house, yes, the person is smart, person is very calculative, diplomatic भी है, sharp है, but the problem and the person will gain because of person will gain a lot of properties. Property में यश मिलेगा, property gain will be there, but there will be problems with friends. There will be problems to the brother अगर इसका है, her brother might face problems, legal problems, documentation problems, और कुछ divorce, कुछ ना कुछ problem brother को होने की संभावना है. That also is seen here. You have to interpret it like this. Okay, so there are a lot of interpretations. I'm not getting into it, but there could be many more interpretations. So what we have to now see here is that there are few other indications that are also not, that are not good in this palm. There are good and bad, both, everything is there. You see this particular part, Mars and Rahu. Mars and Rahu, okay. Mars and Rahu, gives temper related issues, anger management, temper. कुछ तो problem है, which this female in terms of her behavior. कुछ तो problem है in terms of her health. It could be health, it could be behavior, it could be something else. If she is married, there could be problems in the first marriage or first relationship, deep relationship. Deep relationship में first relationship या first marriage might become a problematic thing. For example, Mars and Rahu also means that the husband will have some problems. वो भी हो सकता है. So first marriage will be a problem, and why is that? That also can be seen here. So वो तो नाड़ी का part है. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, here Mars and Rahu are together, and Mars की जर्नी जो है, मार्स की जर्नी जो है आके मरकुरी को भी मिल रही है. दैट मीन्स मार्स इज ऑल्सो क्रॉसिंग. ऑफ कोर्स फर्स्ट मैरिज, कुछ भी हो, फर्स्ट रिलेशनशिप प्रॉब्लम, इट विल बी ए प्रॉब्लमेटिक थिंग. देन इट विल सॉर्ट आउट. देन मे बी देर कुड बी सम अदर प्रॉब्लम, सो in the family due to the husband or due to something. So ये भी possible है, because the journey of Mars has to be seen in Nadi. Okay, because after that it meets Ketu and this Jupiter is Vakri. ज़्यादा कुछ मुझे होप्स नहीं लगता है. So anyways, coming to the point, and then there is Moon. Okay, so again problem. So and then there is Saturn. So again problem. So you see the journey is not very smooth except for this little patch here. So that way you can see here also, because Mars and Rahu का अच्छा खासा साइन यहाँ पे पड़ा हुआ है. That's why I'm giving this prediction. The journey is not smooth because of this particular till on the 8th house. 8th house means Mangalya Sthan. Mangalya Sthan में गड़बड़ है. Okay, so that also can affect the person's married life in the long run. हो सकता है divorce ना हो, but there would be some problems, serious problems. Okay, so this is another prediction that we can give. So here the funny part is that the Mars here is actually helping the Shani when this is patchy because of Rahu, and then you have the Sun, and this line is touching the Venus line. Okay, so therefore from 27 onward, 27 plus up to 30, progress is seen at 30. There will be a sudden progress, sudden jump, sudden development. Of course it will have problems because of the reasons I mentioned. Those are the things we have to see. So roughly ये एक एनालिसिस था जो आपको भृगु नाड़ी या फिर नाड़ी एस्ट्रोपामिस्ट्री के टेक्निक्स को यूज़ करके यू कैन डू लॉट ऑफ प्रेडिक्शंस. यू कैन क्रॉस चेक विद द palm. I know it's very difficult to explain this. I have tried my best, although I could have done a better job, but please bear with me. I am also trying to maximize whatever I can explain in a video. Because of the time constraints, I cannot go on and on. There are a lot of things in this palm. I have not explained about the Jupiter fangs. There are a lot of things, of course, but I have skipped that. For now, I hope you have understood and you have liked this video. Please subscribe to my channel, because I want this channel to grow and reach maximum number of people, so that we can spread Bhrigu Nadi and astropalmistry. Because everywhere you only see astrology, you don't see any palmistry or astropalmistry. This channel is the only channel on YouTube that promotes astropalmistry, and that too Nadi astropalmistry, based on Sri R G Rao sir's principles and Sri Shastri's principles of Bhrigu Nadi. So of course these two legends are always there backing me. Of course their Ashirwad is there, but your Ashirwad is also important, so that the channel grows. Dhanyawad.